There is no such thing as fake geek girls. There are only girls who are at different varying levels of falling in love with something the society generically considers to fall under the nerd culture category. We all started somewhere, and elitists are elitists whether they're wearing thick-framed prescription glasses or Gucci suits. All of this fake geek girl tomfoolery came into the hot seat about 2 weeks ago when Tony Harris made a Facebook post criticizing most female cosplayers as fakes and saying that they don't know anything about comics. Tony Harris is a comic book artist best known for his work on Justice Society of America, Iron Man, and other titles. Here is the aforementioned Facebook post, which for the sake of humor, I will pronounce precisely as it is written because it is a landmine of false capitalization and questionable grammar. I can't remember if I've said this before, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I don't give a crap. I appreciate a pretty gal as much as the next hetero male. Sometimes I even go in for some racy type stuff, keeping the comments PG for my lady's sake. But damn it, I am so sick and tired of the whole cosplay chicks. I know a few who are actually pretty cool and big shocker, love and read comics. So as in all things, they are the exception to the rule. Here's the statement I want to make, based on the rule! Hey, quasi-pretty not hot girl! You are more pathetic than the real nerds, who you secretly think are really pathetic! But we are onto you. Some of us are aware that you are ever so average on an everyday basis, but you have a couple of things going your way. You are willing to become almost completely naked in public, and you're either skinny, well, some or most of you think you are, or you have big boobies. Notice I didn't say great boobies. You are what I refer to as con hot. Well, not by my estimation, but according to a lot of average comic book fans who either rarely speak to or never speak to girls. Some virgins, all unconfident when it comes to girls, and the one thing they all have in common, they are being preyed on by you! You have this really awful need for attention, for people to tell you you're pretty or hot, and the thought of guys pleasuring themselves to the memory of you, hanging on them with your glossy open lips, promising them the moon and the stars of pleasure, just makes your head vibrate. After many years of watching this shit go down with every 3 seconds around or in front of my booth or table at any given con in the country, I put this together. Well, not just me. We are legion. And here it comes. The reason why all that sickens us. Because you don't know shit about comics beyond whatever Google image search you did to get ref on the most mainstream character with the most revealing costume ever! And also, if any of these guys that you try to try to talk to you out of that con, you wouldn't give them the fucking time of day. Shut up, you damned liar! No, you would not. Lying liar face! You're not comics. You're just the thing that all comic book and mainstream press flock to at cons. And the real reason for the con and the damn costumes you're parading around in, that would be the comic book artists and comic book writers who make all that shit up. Dear Tony Harris, you and dude bros like you are the reason that women everywhere feel too intimidated to get into comics. Because if we enjoy them and express ourselves in a way that you don't personally approve of, you try to nerd cred shame us out of your little boys club. And in the same breath you go, why aren't there any girls here? You design and glorify skimpy costumes and then tell us we're attention-seeking for making exact replicas of them. You and everyone who approves of your slut-shaming, fan-criticizing, sexist rhetoric are digging your own graves. P.S. When you tweet and say, no, that only applies to some cosplayers. No! Guess what? You don't get to decide what women are deserving of your respect. We all are! P.P.S. Boobies? How old are you? Now, Tony Harris is just one guy, but a large part of the male audience agrees with what he has to say. Which is kind of messed up, because he dissed you too. And the startling reality that we can gather from this is that if they had their way, women would never be accepted into geekdom. And at the end of the conversation, when you really boil down to it, women's worth and geekery in your eyes is our looks. Not our contributions to fandom, but our looks. Whether it's positive or negative, our looks are the determining factor of success in your eyes. And that really needs to change. Because how is it that a group of middle-aged, mostly overweight men have a successful talk show where they discuss comics, when if a group of women tried to do the same thing, they would be met with an outcry of comments of fat and ugly? Not to bash comic book men, because Kevin Smith is a pretty cool dude. I'm gonna say the thing that I'm not supposed to say. Evidence would suggest that it's harder to be a woman in geek culture than it is to be a man. There! I said it! It really seems like it, and that's saying a ton because being a guy in geek culture is hard enough as it is. No matter what we do or achieve, we as women will always be accused of faking it for attention. Cause you know, everything we do is for male attention, right? We're constantly barraged with endless quizzing and it's fucking bullshit! Yes, sometimes men experience this too, but myself and almost every other girl in this culture are experiencing an endless onslaught of quizzing to prove our knowledge of geekdom. And if you think I'm making this up, you need to take the D20 dice out of your ears for like 5 seconds and just listen to what women are actually saying. Newsflash, a lifetime of being a man does not even nearly educate you on the experience of females. Newsflash, you are becoming the assholes who pushed your face into a locker in high school. You are hurting our community. And you do not represent the tons of men who are awesome and amazing and super supportive of women in this subculture. It's the fucking Catalina wine mixer. One last reality check. Even if you own every single Avengers comics that has ever been made ever, you still don't own the Avengers. You aren't its guardian. You don't get to decide who's a fan of it, or what they have to do or know in order to be considered a fan. So your whining that girls are only interested in the Avengers now that the movie has come out is pathetic and sad, and most importantly, so arrogant that Tony Stark himself would be embarrassed of you. I have a lot more to say on this subject, but I'll leave you with that for now. Many of my friends and fellow internet humans have chimed in a lot on this subject, so if you're interested in hearing more, hint you are, to quote my favorite on-TV scientist, please consider the following. Links to all are in the description box. If you would rather hear what a man has to say about this, The Big Picture with Movie Bob posted a video on this topic titled The Original Geek Girl. My friend Shay posted an awesome video about this. Click my hand to see it. Tumblr user Random Redux made a great post titled The Fake Geek Girl Has Got to Go. The Mary Sue has a bunch of great posts on this topic, all worth reading, my favorite being the one that features the comic by Jenna Saloom. And last but not least, a Twitter hashtag has been all over the news lately, and it's called #OneReasonWhy. It outlines gender injustices in the gaming industry, and particularly highlights the extremely sexist behavior that women who are developing games have to deal with on a daily basis. Commence highlight of some of my favorites. Because I'm told I have no sense of humor and that I'm a white knight and not a real man for calling out misogyny. The ugly one reason why? Men are often guilty of silent complacency. We need to speak up and tell others that sexism isn't cool. Someone explained to me why 50% of world's population is a niche market, while 18 to 25-year-old males, which is 5% of the population, are core. My own one reason why. I busted my ass to get a promotion. First response to it happening was that I only got it because I have nice tits. Because I get mistaken for the receptionist or day hire marketing at trade shows. I strongly encourage you to check all of these out. And remember, if you see sexist behavior happening in your little nerd hutch of the world, call that shit out! I know Batman would. If your comic book store is harassing you or other people, take your money and walk out the fucking door. You deserve to feel safe, and your dollars should be going to people who actually respect you. That was a pretty good one.